started the delivery. Some members cited that they have not received their messages. The system at different instances sends messages to all persons. However, the SMS gateway is housed in NIRA. We do not get back a message when messages are not sent or for whatever reason are not. So we are unable to know which messages have been sent and which ones have not been sent. We are working to place an interface to receive back the unsuccessful messages that have been sent. Notwithstanding, we are going to take a chance to resend all messages with a proviso. Ignore this if you've already received your card directly with the telecoms. Officials soliciting bribes and money. It is true, there are people extorting, soliciting money. We, however, have two challenges in this regard. One, want of prosecution. The moment somebody reports a case, when you ask them that, can we go through the process of punishing this person through a court process, they lose interest. The moment they get their card or they get the service, they completely lose interest. So even where we have interdicted staff, even where we have arrested them, at the end of the day, there is no complainant. The complainant is no longer interested in the money. I mean, in the money they lost and in the case. So why are people lying? Why are there so many people? NIRA is currently at 418 staff, required to distribute 12 million cards. Of those, 210 are in registration and operations, giving a ratio of 1 to close to 100,000 people. That is our reality. The money for the project of more staff ended in February 8th. Therefore, in light of that, the ratio of persons to cards to be distributed is 1 to 100,000. That one is beyond the control of the organization. That answers. No, we have highlighted in the priorities the shortfall. I will fall at the mercy of this committee. Therefore, it explains the congestion. That is why we are congested. Because people have been forced now to come to the offices, unlike previously where the service had been taken to the parish. So now they are back to the offices. The office spaces are finite, many of them less than an acre, and we can divide an acre by the number of persons it can hold. Any excess is equal to congestion. I apologize to the Honorable Member of Remyaga for not receiving his message. We are going to attempt, and the Honorable Member of Mukono North for also not receiving his message. We are going to resend them, and we will specifically inquire. Yes, but to know those who've received, we have 2 samples here who didn't receive. When we resend, we shall ask if they have received. And then I want to commend the upload from Chitgum and say thank you for appreciating the services. Thank you very much. Sir, I sincerely apologize. I don't know if you ever worked or lived in Gulu, but I will investigate that, sir.
Chair.
Yes, after Brandon,
the ED explains that when you complain, people lose, but us also the complainants lose. I remember in the same committee, because I've been here longer, I raised the same complaint, and to the ED herself, you know, it's very easy to access them here in the committee, but when you go to their offices, the procedure, I lost interest. So I would interest you, maybe you could be busy to see visitors, but if you create a desk. I went to NIRA because she even gave me the number, but it was very difficult. It was easier to say Vicar General or a cardinal of the church. So create a desk, probably, if you're so busy to see, because complainants will lose. I lost interest in that, and yet the case was very serious.
I apologize, sir.
That is the best you could, but also I would demand.
Every message I receive, I return. And we can ask MTN for that in evidence.
Honorable Christine.
Thank you, Chair. Madam, I want all the women there and men who have registered but don't have a phone, and I'm wondering how you intend to communicate to them. Thank you.
Those Ugandans during on MTN or Airtel lines, it's possible. How do they get messages? What other medium do you? That's it that you use.
And first, I commend NIRA, where they want to have in the priorities for 2026-27, they are planning the integration of additional 10 MDAs, so that this very vital information can be accessed at the various levels, say Ministry of Lands, the Finance, so that information is critical. You fight fraud through having this authenticated message. So, Mr. Chairman, I would commend that NIRA steps up this effort, because it brings the relevance of the national ID to the day-to-day use. However, Mr. Chairman, I've noted that right now, our registration as it stands is at 75.6%. And they are desirous to extending it to 85, meaning more than 6 million people went unregistered, and these are voters. So why are you coming up? They are Ugandans who would have wanted to be on the voters register. So we've gotten you. When there is a complaint as to why there was low voter turnout of the registered, now we know that you never registered Ugandans. What interest did you have as NIRA in this? No. Why did you block some Ugandans from being registered? Many wanted to participate. Of course, other factors being constant, but they were not. Mr. Chairman, I was looking at their civil registration, and they are raising a case for shortage of funds, because if you look at the page, they needed 13.12 billion, and they've been allocated 5.6. And this is going to be cumulative.
And that attracts NTR, right?
Yes.
That attracts NTR.
Yes.
Of how much? I agree. I want to supplement you.
Yes.
Of how much?
Let registration. Okay, if creating NTR, which is a good thing, of up to 20,000, but you are disenfranchising the citizen from the services. But there are several NTRs along.
No, his interest is also double. I'm complimenting you, because if we gave you money for that full that you require, how much would you generate for government?
Please allow us to give you the figures by the end of today.
Honorable Ssekikubo, conclude.
So it's
and
they pay good money. So put resources where you can earn.
Take a cent all over.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Honorable
citizen, and are there instances where you have rectified it, where the error originated on your side? Who incur that expense? Because you have already told that once somebody want to adjust in the particulars of the ID, especially in the names to add and what have you, he has to bear that cost. What happens, a specific cost which you listed, what happens where the error is on the part of NIRA?
Like, we don't know, assuming Honorable Brandon Chintu gathers courage and resources to go to Gulu. Upon picking his card, he finds he's born in Pache, La Robe.
Thank you.
Okay.
That is issue number one. On issue number 2, billion.07, that increase of 0.05 billion. What is the exact cause of this? And 2, on the analysis of the approved, out of the 571 positions, only 422 are filled, leaving a gap of 149 vacancies and staffing gap of 26. Internal audit, communications, and what have you. What is your way